Let me tell you of the days of high adventure.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm John.
And this is Kevin.
And this is 6 Degrees of Schwarzenegger, the podcast where we take a long, hard look at some of our favorite action movies from the era of Arnold.
Schwarzenegger is the icon of the genre, and we're taking a deep dive into some of these 80s and 90s cult action movies and breaking them all the way down.
What is up, my friend?
I'm feeling great. How are you doing over there?
I'm feeling so good. I'm feeling great about Running Man.
Yeah, dude, we've made it to the final chapter.
That's right. The last face-off with Ben Richards and friends.
Ben Richards is not a great action hero name. It's not Dutch or John Matrix.
It's like I said in a previous episode. It's like Reed Richards, Mr. Fantastic, combined with Ben Grimm, the Thing, and it's like, that's it. Like, you've combined two Marvel characters. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Who knows? Yeah, it's not a great name.
Well, the world's come a long way since 1987.
That's right. We hope everybody's doing great. We're very excited. We're happy to have you along with us as we finish out this series. Lots more good things to come, but before we do that, we have to finish this one. And it's been a doozy. We were just talking before we hit the record button about what a banner year 1987 was for motion pictures, especially the action film.
Yes. We had, I was just jotting down a list. Arnold put out this movie, obviously. Also put out Predator, an even better movie.
I kind of want to watch Predator tonight and Hot Fuzz tonight.
I will join you for either of those.
Yeah.
So yeah, Predator, Lethal Weapon, which just redefined the sort of buddy cop.
The buddy cop. Oh, yeah,
thing.
100%.
You had I think you had 48 Hours, another D'Souza movie, which was excellent, but Lethal Weapon just took it to the max.
That movie is incredible.
Awesome action, awesome performances, awesome chemistry, with the guys.
It's like The Odd Couple, but with guns and explosions.
This is actually this Running Man. Running Man is the fourth movie from 1987 that we've done on this podcast. Behind Predator, RoboCop, fuck yes, and Over the Top.
Look at my face, dick.
Imagine everyone was doing awesome stuff, and then Stallone was arm wrestling. That was how he was spending his 87.
Hey, but you know what? Over the Top rules.
It really does. I mean, it's like, if I had to sit down and choose between watching Lethal Weapon for the 20th time or Over the Top for the 20th time, I might go with Over the Top because it's just more fun. It's more, you can just giggle at it.
It doesn't, even thinking about it now in the context of being surrounded by the other great movies that you just mentioned, Over the Top doesn't make any sense at all. What is it? Is it a family film?
On no level does it make sense.
Is it a family film? Is it an action movie? What is it? It doesn't make any sense.
Is it a drama? Is it action? Is it comedy? Is it romance?
I've been his father for 12 years. No one knows what's happening.
The movie was trying to check too many boxes.
We have Stallone to thank for that, but we're not here to talk about Stallone.
There were a few other honorable mention to Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Awesome movie.
Pretty solid follow-up to the first, which is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Crocodile Dundee. Holy shit.
I think that might be, I think we've talked about this. I think that's the first movie that I can remember seeing in a movie theater. Crocodile
I would have
Dundee.
loved to have seen that in the theater. I was not being allowed to see this grown-up fare when I was that age.
I had bad parents.
And also Untouchables came out that year, which is also not quite an action movie, but so quotable. So quotable.
Untouchables is one of those that had I cable now and it is on whatever part of the movie it's at, I'm going to watch that movie through to fruition. God, it's so good.
What's your real name? What was it before you changed it?
What was it before you changed it?
Oh my gosh. We say that all the time at work. Me and this guy, Vince. What up? Shout out, Vince.
What up, Vince? That movie is amazing.
Yeah.
Just like a wop to bring a knife to a gunfight.
Dude.
There's not a bad performance in that movie.
I mean, De Niro, legendary. The people can't see it, but I can see your face.
I'm just sitting here. Enthusiasms. God damn it. That movie is... Maybe we should watch that tonight.
Oh, fuck yeah.
We're going to queue that bitch up.
I'm out for any of it. I have that DVD for sure.
I say we order dinner and queue up Untouchables.
Oh,
I don't have it on DVD, but I guarantee that's
You'll
on
rent
Prime.
that bitch or stream it or some shit.
I will pay for the $4.50 or $4.99 to watch that movie tonight.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
Okay, fuck yes.
Never stop fighting till the fight is done. Shut up, Kevin Costner. Anyway.
So quotable. Your friend died like a pig.
He died squealing like a stuck Irish pig. Oh, that dude.
Now you think about that while I beat the rap.
Ooh. Right off the roof you go, motherfucker.
That dude was cold-blooded, man.
Oh.
Frank Nitti.
So good. That dude is, he has crazy face, man.
Oh.
Crazy face.
Fuck yes.
What a memorable character, too, though. Like, everybody in that movie just was on another level. And the faux jazz soundtrack that went along with it. It was like sort of,
dude.
It's like
awesome shit.
Not real jazz, but sort of, I don't know.
David Mamet at the height of his powers writing.
That film noir vibe was strong. The game was strong. Dude. I guess we should talk about Running Man.
Fine.
Or we could talk about other movies for the duration.
No. This is about Running Man. The other movies will wait for other podcasts. Yeah,
we're 7 minutes in. We haven't talked about Running Man. I guess we should get to it. In our last episode, all of our good guys were separated. Weiss was figuring out the code to relay to the Resistance. Meanwhile, Laughlin and Richards were facing off against Buzzsaw. Richards prevailed. Laughlin was brutally, gruesomely injured and died. Weiss also died, but not before he got the code and gave it to Amber, who we guess memorized it. And at that moment, Richards also rescues Amber from Dynamo, the opera singing villain.
Ghoulish.
We don't even know what
figure.
he is. We guess that Richards let him live, given the opportunity to kill him gladiator style. He chose not to. At that moment, Damon Killian buzzes him on the private line saying, "Hey, buddy, we can really make this thing a career for you if you're interested."
Yes.
And Ben Richards says, "Fuck you." Actually, he gives one of the movie's better monologues, but I'm going to break your goddamn spine. And says, "No, thanks." Jesse the Body Ventura.
He politely declined.
That's right. Jesse the Body Ventura refuses to go into the arena to get him, but not. And that all comes after Ben Richards and Amber have killed Jim Brown. Man, a lot happened in episode 4, you guys.
Yeah.
And then it says as that episode was ending, Richards and Amber were caught in some sort of a cage, some sort of a trap.
Right. It was like Indiana Jones style. All the doors closed around them.
And that's where we're picking up now, baby.
Yeah. So this section of the movie, it picks up with an in remembrance of reel.
I love this part.
Rolling for Sub-Zero, Buzzsaw, and Fireball.
Amazing.
What is this? The fucking Oscars?
It does seem like in memoriam.
I figured maybe they're just trying to buy time to figure out what's going to happen next.
Or to give them time to create the deep fake video that they're making.
The dancers are doing this very sensual, somber dance to the slow, sad music.
Does not make any sense. Yeah, they're doing their funeral routine. And then,
they're mourning. I love
the line from Tony. This is what I hate. Third act problems.
That's a very meta line, isn't it?
Very meta. Very meta.
Yeah. In the control room, they're all scrambling, trying to figure out how can we make the fake video of Captain Freedom killing Richards.
And this is more of what we were talking about from changing the footage of the massacre at Bakersfield, that this is sort of like the genesis of the deep fake video that we see all the time on YouTube now, where you superimpose people's faces on different bodies or stuff like that to make it look like looks actual
believable
footage.
Yeah.
So this is what we're getting.
So what they're doing is they're sort of splicing together this footage of Richards fighting against Buzzsaw when they were grappling versus Captain Freedom fighting with some rando, probably off another previous, Running Man episode.
Yeah, we
or something.
assume for sure.
But yeah, as you say, like that technology kind of exists today. Now back on the game board or wherever, Mick pops out to reveal that the rebels are the ones who have captured Richards and Amber. That's Mick Fleetwood of Fleetwood Mac.
Thank God for that.
I never get tired of it being Mick Fleetwood.
No, I kind of wish Mick Fleetwood were in more movies, to be honest with you. Or Dweezil, Richards, for that matter.
Yeah, right. But Richards is mad at the rebels, mad that they didn't help, which is a fair point. But Mick says if we revealed ourselves, then all the bad guys would know where our headquarters is.
Yeah, because we fucking built our hideout in their hideout.
Yeah, it's a little
so
strange.
Stupid.
Who do you agree with in this argument? Who do you think is right?
I'm with Mick in this situation. If in the words of Peregrine Took, the closer you are to danger, the further you are from harm. I'm in agreement with that. If they're trying
we could have popped out and won the battle, but we would have lost the war.
Absolutely.
Type situation.
That checks out for me.
Now, this is where Amber says, well, I've got the codes that you need.
Oh, well, thank God.
So can you remember the code, John, right now?
Fuck. I know there are 2 17s and a B, and the last number is 4.
That's what I'm saying. We've been through a lot less shit than they've been through.
It's like 18, 24. There's a 64, 18, 20 something, 64B.
Hold on.
Something 17.
Tell me this again. I'm going back to it.
It's like, all right. So it's like 18, 24, 63, B, 17, 17, 4.
You were really close. It was 61, not 63.
I got the rest of them, though?
The rest were right.
Oh, fucking hey. That's awesome. That's so
I'm
great.
impressed.
I'm
impressed. That's better than I would have done for sure. Yeah,
that checks out. That makes me feel better about not getting dementia.
I blame the beer, I blame the alcohol, but it fully had gone out of my mind.
What are you drinking? What's giving you a racer mind?
I'm still drinking Sweetwater over here. That's my go-to this summer.
I love it.
I buy the 24 pack of Tall Boys. A solid bargain.
I'm still drinking that. What is this called?
It's working.
It's bourbon. It's working. It's working.
Nice.
Wilderness Trail.
We should watch.
It's
What's
working. That? Wilderness Trail Distillery in Kentucky.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Awesome.
That makes the
cut. So the show, The Running Man, resumes on television with Killian saying Captain Freedom has come out of retirement to face Richards and Amber in the final quadrant.
Love it.
So now they cue up that video of Captain Freedom just killing Amber. He just picks her up over his head like a friggin' clean and jerk and just chucks her into, I think, like this razor wire.
He snaps her neck like a twig. And also throughout this whole thing, I love that Starsky gave them direction to to play all of this.
For people who have not remembered, the director of this movie was Starsky from Starsky and Hutch
from the TV.
And we're not talking about Ben Stiller or whoever. We're talking about like old school Starsky and Hutch.
So I like the fact that he probably told me, he's like, I want you to go a little bit over the top because this needs to seem like a truck, like a machine, like a truck. It needs to seem a little bit like it's not real. But yeah, Captain Freedom snaps her neck like a twig and then throws her like limp dead body into some razor wire where she just kind of like gets caught like hung
She's
there.
Caught up in the razor wire. It's
like
awful.
like a Christmas tree ornament.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Meanwhile, real Amber and Richards are watching in utter disbelief, as one would.
That was brutal. That was brutal violence against women.
It's hard to watch. Like even now, it's like he just like Literally snaps her neck like a baby bird.
That was wild. So then Richards gets into it. He starts fighting Captain Freedom, who ultimately kills him. I mean, the fight to me is like a little bit of a letdown. Mm-hmm. Like, Agreed. It's kind of short. It's ultimately, we know as the audience, this it's not even real. So like, there's no drama to it.
But we do get some of the most Arnoldy Arnold screams in.
He kills at that, man.
It doesn't look completely legit, but the production team did the best that they could, Kevin.
As this is all happening, I find myself hoping that we're going to get to see that fight for real before the movie is over.
Like him and Captain Freedom?
Yeah, but it never happens.
I love that Captain Freedom of all the characters in the movie to have honor, it was Captain Freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah. America, I guess. I don't know.
Fuck yeah.
So for the viewing public at this moment, this episode of The Running Man is ostensibly over. It's all over.
Yeah. I think the announcer comes on and says, once again, the results prove that might and right are one and the same. Such a 1980s, sort of mindset. But man, when Captain Freedom kills Richards, he sort of throws him into these spikes that are all sticking out of the wall. Ugh. And he lets out an insane laugh. He's like,
it's an excellent villain laugh.
Oh my gosh, it's fucking killer, man. Yeah.
The body dialed it up for that.
So Amber and Richards and the good guys, they're all watching this down in the headquarters, and Amber thinks that, oh, this is great. The world thinks we're dead now, so we can just skate away, we'll disappear, we'll fade into the mist or whatever. But Richards knows that now they're going to send in the army or whatever. Right. Like they'll do whatever it takes to kill us.
Yeah, we're fucked. We can't just slither away.
Well, that's where I was thinking, so Killian in the control room, he's thrilled about how this has all gone down. But do you think that was old footage, or did they kill some new guy just to make this hoax video, or was that old doctored footage?
No, I think it was old doctored footage because of the way that the graph elements show up on the faces and stuff. Yeah, I think
that's what I thought. That's what I thought. Footage. But Damon's top assistant says to Killian, you didn't have to kill him, and I'm like, so is this a new kill?
Oh, interesting.
It's just a strange thing to say.
So is that? Maybe that is why Captain Freedom was objecting earlier, because he was killing maybe just some random guy in the studio, and he was saying this used to be about honor, this used to be about death.
Now
it's
just about tricking the audience or whatever, doing whatever it takes to win.
I do love Killian's lines. That's one for the award show, huh? Hey, thank you. You're doing nice work.
Well, when that woman says, Damon, you didn't have to kill him, and his answer was, it's all part of life's rich pattern, Brenda. And you better fucking get used to it. A great bad guy line.
Oh, it's so good. It's also fun.
Life's
totally.
rich
You're
pattern.
Finally getting it. So sassy. He's so sassy.
So in the control room, they're sort of removing the digital mask from this guy who got killed as Richards, and we see a face that's very familiar from Arnold movies. That's like Arnold's regular stuntman. His name is Peter Kent. And he stunt doubled for Arnold in 14 different movies.
So this is the same guy we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. He started out, he stunt doubled him in Terminator all the way up through, I think maybe True Lies might have been the last one where he stunt doubled for him. Yeah, it was about the time that Arnold sort of took a little break, went off and started doing different types of movies and became governor and all that stuff. But man, what a gig it must have been to be the guy who could convincingly double for Arnold. Like, there's very few guys like that
in the world that could do that at that time.
Yeah, if you've got the size and the look, then you can basically just say, yeah, I know I'm going to steady work, because as long as Arnold's working, I'll be working.
For the biggest star in the world. That's badass.
Yeah. And dude was a good looking dude. I mean, same height, same he wasn't Mr. Olympia, but he was, jacked. He was huge. You may remember him well because he was featured prominently in a close-up in Twins.
Oh, that's right. You were talking about that earlier. Yes, I do.
When Arnold was there in the prison waiting for Danny DeVito to come and talk to him on the phone, and this guy who's a spitting image of Arnold walks out, that is Peter Kent.
Very cool. Very cool.
Awesome. So back at the Rebel headquarters, the Rebels are like they're gearing up, they're locking and loading with their arsenal,
ready for
so
battle.
that they can they want to hold off the army once they take control of that feed, because they know ICS is going to send everyone to try to retake control. And Richards is telling Mick that the group needs a leader, so he's sort of volunteering. He says, like, besides, he promised Killian that he'd be back. As we've referenced a few times, if there had also been the element of his brother having been, killed by the bad guys, that would give him even more motivation, I feel like. But they missed a thing there, or maybe that's a subplot or a B story that was chopped out of the movie just to speed it up.
That's right. Well, I think also Richards, as we've established in previous episodes, is feeling that bloodlust now too. Richards has just been killing people with relish this entire time. Mick then says that they're going to send the uplink code, and that 20 minutes and 10 seconds later, he'll go on the air to address the world.
That's a very specific amount of time, isn't it? 20 minutes and 10 seconds. The last 10 seconds is going to make all the difference.
All the difference. Okay. Richards is totally in Arnold fashion, getting locked and loaded, puffing on a cigar.
Where did it come from?
Fucking the Rebels had them, I guess. I don't know.
They just have a box of stogies down there.
No one knows. and then it's at this point that Amber slips the video disc of the unedited Bakersfield massacre footage and says to use that instead of giving a speech. And it's at this moment,
seeing is believing, right?
The whole movie, there's been no romantic chemistry between the two, but Richards kind of looks her up and down and asks where she hid the disc, and she says, "It's none of your business." So they are now flirting.
So where was it in your estimation?
She was hiding in her hoo-ha.
It was inside.
It was in her vagina.
I could have seen. I thought it was maybe just underneath a titty or in her butt crack.
It was inside of her.
Oh my goodness!
Trauma makes strange bedfellows, is what we. I
like Maria Conchita Alonso.
She's not
Amber
ugly.
No, she had it going on in this film. That's for sure.
But also, I wonder what the Spanish word for Amber is, because her name's not Amber.
Yeah, that's a very 80s American stripper name.
But all that said, it's time for the final showdown, Kevin.
Final fight.
Final round.
It's like a fucking dance party back at the ICS studio.
We got to burn up 2 more minutes of screen time. Get the Laker girls out there.
I said it before, but there was a lot of talent on this dance team. The Laker girls.
Heyo. Wow. Absolutely.
Choreographed as usual by Paula Abdul.
Love me some Paula.
So this seems like the post-game show or something, right? Because they kind of already signed off, I feel like, for the Running Man.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I love that. It's weird that much of the audience would have stuck around. They're into the Laker girls, I guess, instead of immediately filing out after it ended.
I can't blame them.
Yeah.
So Richards, Amber, and the rest of the Rebel Army, they're making their way towards the ICS studio.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, another group of Rebels sort of takes over the feed. They bust in the control room, right? And they bust in the control room, I think, and they start putting their own discs in and things like this. Because they run their video showing that Killian's a liar,
right?
Showing that those.
But I love the scene. It's like when they're doing the pre-feed takeover prep from Mick and his tech, and Mick says, "Mr. Spock, you have the comm." And it's the second instance of antiquated TV, and the guy's like, "Who's Mr. Spock?"
That is a solid line. Then
kids these days, am I right? It's like,
but they should know that Star Trek is ageless now. Now Mr. Spock is Zachary Quinto.
Exactly. That's true. Absolutely.
We got sidetracked.
That's fine. We always do.
I love when we do.
Yeah.
I love when we do.
Yeah. So Killian welcomes the audience to the wrap-up show, and the Rebels suddenly take over the feed.
That's right. And they're running this B-roll up on the screens. They prove him a liar. They're showing the footage of the dead former winners.
Yeah.
And they cue up that footage of the real Bakersfield massacre, showing that Richards was trying not to kill them, refusing to kill them, and that, the government was the ones ordering the murders.
The audience is Trey confused.
Again, I said it before, I'll say it again. I thought it was strange that there were so many different camera angles, because now we're looking at undoctored footage. So this is not deep fake.
That's true.
And there were close-ups of Richard's face that I feel like would have, as the helicopter pilot, they would have obscured his view of what was in front of him if there were cameras there. But,
this is 2017 in Stephen King's head /
we're thinking too hard right now.
Starsky's head.
Oh my God. So, Richards and the rest, they storm that control room, and Dweezil bust out that great line, "Don't touch that dial."
Nice,
so, like,
Dweezil.
one of the guys in there.
Nice, Dweezil.
Solid.
I love it.
Solid. Killian is like, he's scrambling, he's stammering, he's trying to tell the audience
It's just technical difficulties.
But the audience has turned on him.
Is it
right?
Agnes that says bullshit?
I love Agnes. I wish she was my grandma.
Baby. She is fire.
Yeah, she was a fiery lady.
Yeah, the audience is not having it.
At the same time, now Richards and a bunch of other rebels, they burst into the actual main studio. And I think that's when Richards steals one of Killian's lines. It's showtime.
Yeah, thus begins the shootout with like dozens and dozens of like civilians in the room.
You know what? And when you realize, okay, now this audience has seen Ben Richards killed. Mm-hmm. And now he burst in alive and well. And so now the audience knows that Killian is a liar.
Right.
And this whole thing is a hoax.
And so do you think it's like at this point, it's like Richards and his team are actively trying to get shepherd the hostages out of the room, not the hostages, the audience rather.
That's right. And so, there's sort of a crowd stampede. But the rebels are like protecting them, it seems like. And ICS goons they're just shooting indiscriminately.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Amber, on her own, she's like roaming the ICS hallways.
What?
She kills a guy.
Right.
She's not a killer. This is just that'd just be a big step to take.
It is.
To just murder someone.
Yep. Agreed.
Around the same time, Dynamo pops out and grabs her.
Yeah, like knocks her down. This is maybe the most uncomfortable moment of the entire movie. He's like very sinister and slowly like moving toward her as she like crawls backwards away. What's the matter now, bitch? Why aren't you laughing? It's so...
He is evil. And she's talking shit to him.
She's giving it as good as she's getting.
She's like saying something about him being like a dickless.
There's nothing funny about a dickless moron with a battery up his ass. Very spicy, very saucy.
Yeah. Now, I don't even like to talk about it, but Dynamo appears ready to assault Amber in the worst way possible.
She punches him in the dick and tries to get away, but he grabs her foot, and then somehow, instantaneously, he has his pants down.
Yeah, there must have been some stuff cut out of there. He's got these tidy whities on.
The biggest pair of tidy whities you've ever seen in your entire life.
Yeah, that's like the 4XL. And it's horrible, as these scenes always are. He's sort of trying to pin her down, and she's reaching for that gun that she had.
Right.
And she does get a hold of it. Then they're wrestling over the gun as it's going off and sets off the sprinklers. This is a pretty good kill. It's a clever kill because the water, electrocutes or causes Dynamo's suit to sort of freak out, and he's electrocuted.
The blue lightning special effect that is so ubiquitous in 80s movies is one of my favorites. I love the blue lightning special effect. Return of the Jedi.
Just in general, or this film?
No, I love it.
In general?
In Return of the Jedi, in Big Trouble in Little China, in this, it's fucking always awesome looking to me.
I feel like it was one of the first things that they figured out that they could really make look real.
Yeah.
Because it looks like lightning.
It always looks amazing to me. I'm like, yes, give me that blue lightning, baby.
But so he's electrocuted, and much like Fireball's suit apparently not being flame-proof, this seems a pretty obvious risk for Dynamo. Like, you'd want to have it be where he could get wet and it wouldn't kill him.
Well, and then how also did Amber not somehow get electrocuted?
She was pinned under him, right, when it started?
I thought... But
she
even
scrambled
then, it's
away in the nick of time, I guess.
The floor is wet, ostensibly, and she's in the water, probably.
Yeah.
And that's how electricity travels.
Oh, this is maybe not for podcast consumption, but it's just always one of my favorite things. So, if a person is electrocuted, that means that they died. If you didn't die, then you were electrified. If you died, then you were electrocuted. The two words have two different meanings.
Well,
it's like the execute, whatever the Latin is or the Greek in there. So electrocute means you're dead. So if you ever shocked yourself touching a live wire,
you're electrified.
Don't tell people that you were electrocuted. Yeah, because you weren't electrocuted because you're still alive. It's
interesting.
Cool.
Yeah, I wonder what so electro, to die by electricity. So I wonder what the cute part of
it's like the same as like the executioner, that right. Whatever that little
who
bit
brings
is. Yeah.
Death. Interesting. Very, very interesting.
Anyway, I may chop that out. But
no, man, leave that shit in. That was badass. I love it.
We like to teach. I
like a phrenology, not phrenology. I love a philology lesson in the middle of the.
What is phrenology? Is that like the study of craniums?
Phrenology is where, it's like your bumpy skull means shit. I'm talking about philology, which is the study of languages. Some
Django Unchained shit.
Yeah.
So back in the studio, the shootout continues.
Right.
Richards and the rebels, they're protecting all the audience members while the paramilitary dudes are just shooting everybody up.
Assholes.
Once again, we've said this multiple times on multiple podcasts. Schwarzenegger, not great at looking like a professional soldier. Like the way he holds a gun, he'll like be firing these assault rifles with one hand or holding them real low, like just shooting from the hip. It's kind of strange.
It's not believable.
This is a soldier. John Matrix was a soldier.
Right.
Or even in Predator. I mean, always just, I think back on the Predator episodes, Mike described it as he looks like he's throwing the bullets out of the gun. That's pretty accurate.
Not wrong. That's exactly what it looks like.
Because he'll thrust his arms forward as he's shooting.
It does not look like a person who knows how to handle a firearm ever.
No.
Anyway,
movies have really changed in the last few decades where now dudes are trained with the Navy SEALs or trained with a SWAT team for a month before they start filming. Yeah. Crazy.
The viewers at home, we should mention, seem to be seeing all of this like tomfoolery going on in the studio.
Because I feel like the good guys have taken over the control room now. So they're like letting it go out unfiltered on the airwaves.
But I love
Killian
is
trying
awesome.
to sneak out of there. Richard sees him and he says, "Hello, cutie pie."
I love
it. Richards can't let anything that anyone says to him go, like he's like, I'm storing that away in the memory banks. I'm going to bring that out at an opportune moment to fucking spite you.
He knows how to dial it up, baby. One of us is in deep trouble, he says, is awesome.
And about that moment, that's when Sven Ole Thorsen walks in.
Yes.
Killian sort of feels like, thank God, he's come to my rescue.
He chuckles like his savior has arrived for sure.
Killian sicks Sven on him, and Sven, that's when he turns back to him, and he's like, I've got to go score some steroids.
Sick burn, Sven. I'm Team Sven all the way.
Yeah, dude. In life, I mean, we've mentioned before, he was like one of Arnold's closest friends.
I want him to be one of my closest friends.
Yeah, he appears in most Arnold movies from this era for sure. And he's always like just visually awesome looking. But yeah, that is why you never piss off your muscle. Like if you're Killian and you're sort of a smart ass big talker, but you need guys around to do dirt for you. Why are you insulting your top
You don't talk shit to those guys ever.
You're going to need that guy one day, right?
You be real nice to him. Everyone else is shit, but you be nice to that guy.
Now, at this point, Killian starts to try to reason with Richards. He says, in TV, I work in TV. We just try to give the audience what they want.
Yeah, it's just about ratings. I love this. Yeah, this bit is crazy. For 50 years, we told them what to eat, what to drink, what to wear.
Mm-hmm.
Like Americans love television. They wean their kids on it. I mean, now it's the internet. I don't think it's so much TV as it is just, consumption on the internet, but it's the same thing.
Yeah. Whoever wrote it, they had a good eye towards, that this was not changing. If anything, it was just going to become more and more profound.
It reminded me of the babysitter monologue, the babysitter speech in Cable Guy, Jim Carrey.
Someone's got to kill the babysitter.
It's exactly the case, man.
Oh, yeah,
the dangers of television. Television will rot your brain, Kevin.
We always get the bad guys trying to reason with the good guys once their plan has failed. I don't know.
Got to save your skin, I guess.
You got to try to talk your way out of it.
Yeah.
We were just watching The Wire. Stringer tried to reason with Omar and Brother Mouzone. It's like, dude, you're cooked, dude.
That moment was hard. Like there was part of me that I was like, how is Stringer going to get out of this? Because I was like, they can't.
Yeah, he's not going to die.
They can't kill Stringer right now because there's 2 seasons left. And then they did. And I was just like, fuck. But
that hit me hard. I just was such a Stringer Bell fan.
Well, but it's like cornered by Omar and Mouzone, Brother Mouzone. Yeah. It's like there's
and those
no
dudes
way
will not be reasoned with.
No, there was no way they were walking out of there.
No money was going to buy them off because they're men of honor.
As soon as I saw them walk around the corner, like I think the wind got sucked out of my body. Like when they had
him trapped.
No. When they were outside the building and had seen them go in, and Mouzone was like, "Is there a way in the back?" And he's like, "No, it's all boarded in. We're going through the front." It was like hard for. I was like, "Shit, Stringer's actually going to die in this scene unless he jumps out of the building."
Yeah. Fucking rad, dude.
So good. Anyway, I guess we're talking about Running Man, but
yeah, right. I also was thinking, so if you were going to have Captain Freedom and Ben Richards fight, this would have been the moment for Captain Freedom to enter the arena. I would have loved to have seen that. Again, it's like in Over the Top where you have Terry Funk, but they never really come to a full-fledged fight that means anything.
Yeah, he just gets knocked through the French doors.
It's weird to have fucking charismatic Jesse Ventura. You've been teasing as the baddest ass of all the badasses, and then you never get that payoff of the big fight.
Or for him to have had the moment that Sven had.
Where he just, turns on him or walks out.
Or he's the one that, he helps Richards put Killian
That actually
in the
would have been better. Actually would have been better. You could have let Arnold or Richards fight Sven.
Yeah.
And then let Captain Freedom say like, nah, you're on your own, brother.
Absolutely. Man, we should remake this and do it that way.
This is a movie that you actually could remake because there's room for improvement.
Absolutely.
It's weird when you try to remake a perfect film.
When you try to remake Total Recall or RoboCop and it doesn't need it.
But this is a movie where it's like, this movie was full of flaws, things that you could fix.
And I think that this movie now would play really well, especially like in the era of Hunger Games and things like that, and whatever, Maze Runner, which didn't do as well, but was the same basic premise. Like this movie, man, who would get cast as your Ben Richards character in Running Man in 2020 or 2021 when Hollywood studios open back up?
Do you want a young guy or do you want a guy who's 30s ish?
30s ish.
I could see like Chris Evans is kind of that guy who's kind of bulky and, you buy him as a brawler as well. A lot of those guys are a Chris Hemsworth could execute it. I don't know who would be a good, like, all-American boy.
I was about to say...
Michael B. Jordan would kill it.
That's a fucking awesome idea. That's a really, really strong idea to bring this one back.
Mix it up, man.
Absolutely.
Let's do it different, not the same.
Or Jason Momoa.
Oh, yeah. No, he should be one of the hunters, or one of the stalkers.
Or Jason Momoa could be the Katanga character. He could be Laughlin. That'd be badass. Yeah. That'd be real badass.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
I am too.
I'd watch that movie.
All right. Anyway, so Richard sticks Killian in a pod to be launched into the arena.
I love that. And Killian says to him, "Drop dead."
You bastard, drop dead. I don't do requests.
Another one-liner. That was decent, though. That was decent.
But again, true to form, that's the first of two. He launches the pod. It looks like it's going really fast, like faster than anything else is. And I assume that they had a camera on a gimbal, like going around Dawson's face, but like that they had a fan or something like blowing his face.
It must have been,
because that effect it made it look like he was traveling really, really fast down that tube.
And he shoots out the end of that tunnel, right? He crashes into the big Cadre Cola billboard.
He crashes into his own billboard in a huge ball of flame. And I guess it was going so fast that it jumped the track. Or maybe was down. Or maybe that Arnold cranked the juice up if that was an option.
Yeah.
But then we get his second kiss off line.
Well, that hit the spot. It is also, that was the slogan from the Cadre Cola commercial that Killian was in earlier in the film.
The crowd goes absolutely ape shit. They're loving it.
The triumphant music swells.
More death. Faltermeyer score swells, and it's badass in there. Amber walks into the studio.
I got a question. Would any of this change anything? Like in the world in which they live in? I mean, is the government not just still going to rule with an iron fist? The
government is still in power. It would be akin to like if somehow
the uprising.
If somehow hackers hacked into China State TV and said, you're being lied to, and people decided to believe it.
Yeah. But it's kind of like the end of the first Matrix.
Yeah, absolutely.
When he's like, this is a message for everybody out there, rise up, basically.
But ultimately, you are relying on people to do that. And if they don't...
To do the right thing and have their own courage.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the people do seem pretty amped up by what they've seen here.
Mm-hmm.
I dig it, man.
They want change. Well, yeah, now their eyes are opened. They're out of the Matrix, as it were.
True.
The John Matrix.
Now, and this is... So Amber comes walking into the studio. Richards and Amber kiss. He more like just plants one on her.
Yeah, probably didn't ask.
For me, I never felt anything that really approached like romantic chemistry between them, except for the little bit of flirtation we saw when they were
with the stashing the disc in the vagina. Yeah.
Yeah, that old chestnut. But after they kiss, did you notice he sort of gripped her by the back of the neck again, like he did when they were hostages. Like maybe that's just Arnold's go-to, like just steers her around by with an iron grip.
It's a very like masculine way to touch a woman. Like
I guess so. Like super alpha, I'm in charge.
Yes.
It's not necessarily the coolest.
No. Or the sexiest even maybe, but
yeah.
Or maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe some women are into that. I don't know.
And then out in the city, we see the Running Man show going off the air, and Please Stand By pops up on the big video board out in their Times Square type area. So I guess we're meant to feel like ICS is no more and they've been crushed now.
Yeah, like ICS has been taken off the air, and the rebels now have control of the TV.
And that's Running Man. We get credits roll. The song Ruthless Heart, in parentheses, Running Away With You, written by Faltermeyer and performed by John Parr, plays out. And this fucking song was a banger, man. Yeah. I was watching it on my full surround sound with the subwoofer and everything like that. And the song is killer, dude.
I need to cue that up when we get off. I want to hear the song and remember it.
It fucks
in all its glory. It fucks so hard. Song fucks.
There's also an awesome thing, dude, I mentioned before we recorded. At the end of the song, there's this hilarious like fake sign off from the Running Man announcer where he's like canvassing for contestants, saying, like, if you're interested in appearing on the Running Man, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to, and it's like all that type of shit. And then at the end, he's like, and then go do something really despicable.
Oh man,
it's killer. I don't know if that was in the script or if that was tacked on, but it's fucking rad.
Do you remember when it was like the Fox Kids Club? WATL Fox Kids Club, and you like had to like you could join. You send like a self-addressed stamped envelope, and like they'd send you like a magazine every month or something like that.
Yeah.
And then
everything, like if you wanted to appear on Double Dare, if you wanted to do any of these things, like it was all about the self-addressed stamped envelope.
That's so awesome.
Now it's all fucking email, right?
Send it via text too.
Yeah, right. But man, dude, Running Man,
good movie.
It's an artifact of the time.
Most certainly.
It's definitely showing its age. It's not timeless.
No.
But it is Arnold at that moment in his career when he was really just about to break through in a major way.
Crushing it. Great cast, great action, some great stunts that all looks like it was sort of like dressed up in some cardboard and Christmas lights.
It makes me wonder. I wonder about Arnold going from the set of Predator to like this set. If he felt like, oh boy, this feels like a step backwards.
The set from Predator was all fucking like just outdoors, man. It felt the reason that it looked amazing was because it was all like it was believable because it was real. And this felt like it was done on a soundstage, and it sort of was dingy. And like I said, it looks like a lot of it was just cardboard and shit laying around. It just was like not compelling to look at.
It's like slapped together and done in a shoddy fashion.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. I know the budget on this shit was higher than the budget on Predator.
It was $24 something million.
I'm going to check that Predator budget out real quick because now I'm curious, because I feel like I was shocked at how cheap Predator was done.
And I feel like
how great it looks.
To have only grossed like what, 36.1 or whatever we said to start in episode 1, it was like they just barely made their money back on this one. This was not a big success by any stretch.
They were definitely thinking they were going to cash in on like the big, it's Arnold in a sci-fi. It's got, you know,
I wonder why it didn't.
Terminator.
I would be interested to see like when it dropped, to see like if that had a factor. Like, was it
what time of the year?
Yeah,
I think I'll look it up. I think it was very late in the I think it was late in the year, like November, December. The Running Man came out. So yeah, bought the budget for Predator $15 million. That's low. I mean, how was Predator cheaper than this movie?
Because it was all shot outdoor.
Sets.
Yeah, it was all outdoor. It was all just guys walking in the trees.
So basically you're just paying for all the pyro and the actors.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
how much?
It's a good tip to anyone trying to make movies. Don't write a movie that requires expensive sets. I'm going to look for that Running Man release date.
Yeah, absolutely.
Running Man, November 13th, 1987.
So we're like a couple of weeks out from Thanksgiving.
Yeah, that's kind of a no man's land to drop a movie into. Yeah, maybe they recognize this is not great. That would also be, you could also see that as an indication of the fact that the movie's really short.
Mm-hmm.
And that it feels like there were some subplots that were cut out of the movie.
It feels like it got cut to hell. To me.
Sometimes if they're like, oh boy, this movie is not good, let's trim it from an hour 50 to an hour 30 and we can squeeze in an extra screening each day and try to recoup our money that way.
Do you want to see the 2-hour version of this cut of this movie? I do. Yeah. I do too.
I want to see what's going on with the brother, because I know that was in there. Maybe there was some more with understanding why Maria Conchita Alonso would be into Ben Richards by the end.
I was about to call him John Matrix. I also want to see. I want to see the Richard Dawson outtakes.
Oh my gosh!
Right?
Yes,
don't you want to see him like going off? I want to see all that shit.
I want to see it. I want to see some outtakes from Family Feud where he's just cursing out grandmas and stuff,
just yelling at his assistants on the audience and stuff. That would be amazing. I would love to see that too.
I think that guy was a piece of work.
Man, so that's Running Man. We did it.
Fucking A. We talked about Running Man, you guys. Thanks for taking the trip with us.
Hope you enjoyed it. And if you didn't, that's your problem, I guess.
No. We love you guys. If you didn't enjoy that, come back next week, because we'll probably be doing something you'll enjoy.
We'll have something you will enjoy for sure.
We should redo the ending, because I don't know if that was weird. That was kind of a downer.
So that was Running Man, so we'll just say,
yeah. That was Running Man.
It's a classic.
Fucking, an Arnold classic.
An Arnold banger.
Best. Not his best, but not his worst.
It shows an artist approaching his like full power,
reaching the peak. Yeah, he's about to acquire his full arsenal of powers.
Even Van Gogh needed some time to practice, my friend.
You think everything Picasso did was a masterpiece? There were some fucking dumpster fires in there.
Absolutely.
Some shit that he just tossed on the scrap heap.
We hope you guys have enjoyed this, and we hope that you tune in with us for some new stuff starting next week, and we'll be back.
We will be back.
You hit the right spot.